Howdy, y'all. It is Ludwin, and I'm going to walk you all through what we've got on from Wythe. It's a smaller drop that we've got, but a lot of good stuff. It's what I like to call a trio of trios. You're going to see three sets of three. Honestly, merchandising, if you've ever worked in like a physical retail shop, this is going to be the most shoppable looking rack. It has kind of the similar color story going through. We have a faded black, an apricot, and then a special third color in each of these. So I'll just, get into it and show you all what we got going on. The first up is going to be the Rip Tank. This is a style that it's not yet on our website, but you will find it probably in a couple of days once we get things sorted. But we have them here. They're ready to shop. So when you guys can, please place those orders. They're just classic rib tanks. They're going to be hugging your body a little bit the same way you'd want an undershirt to sit. They have a nice U-neck. And you can see my man Ken Sean wearing it. And it's just a really good cut. It's a tank top. I feel like my issue with the rib tank is as you wear it and it gets looser, sometimes they can just bag out. And this is just cut in a way that it just hugs your body really nicely. What size are you wearing?
I'm wearing the large.
There you go.
But honestly, it really does feel like you can kind of wear whatever size. It is very forgiving. But the large fits good.
Yeah, it's a good length. You can get them tucked in. They fit well. And the colors, I think, are really sweet. You can pair them with different things. This faded blue, I think, works really nice faded indigo is likely what they call it. Works really well with a nice other muted tones. This earth tone right here and these earth studies, very, very sick.
Yeah.
And you'll see it, styled throughout. The colors just make a lot of sense. And that's why the guys at Wythe really picked those, because it makes sense for the season that they've set up for us. So they're preparing us with good intentions with these guys. Next up, we have, this is a tried and true classic. This is what people message us, I don't know, probably weekly for the past 3 months, asking when they're coming. The Wythe Tencel Pearl Snaps. It's a Western pearl snap shirt. You have all the classic Western details, but just done a little bit different. So you're not getting the more standoutish Western yoke. It's kind of just refined down to these really clean enamel covered pearl snaps. They're classic acorn shaped pockets. And then on the back, you get this nice roomy, boxy series of pleats that just allow for a lot of movement and shape. It's also cut with kind of like a high-low situation, or like a polo hem where the back hem is longer than the front. So, when you're sitting down, I guess when you're sitting down on a horse, in theory, right, this is still being covered on your back. You're not leaning up and you're not showing, back midriff or whatever you'd like to call that. But yeah, it's a really great shirt. We really like them in the spring, summer. The washed Tencel cloth has a really silky quality to it, and has a nice variety of shades within it. So there's a good depth of color. We have the faded black, the apricot, as I mentioned, with the two colors we'll have in everything. And this one special third is the Camp Khaki, which is just a very, very pretty khaki. I feel like khaki a lot of times is synonymous with boring, but this just has a really nice, soft, almost suede-like appearance that I really, really appreciate. I think you can see it especially on the seams where it's not fully washed, so you get a bigger depth of color, on the collar or around the pockets, where you get those punchier brown tones with the soft wash shade. And especially with that color of the enamel, it's just really nice. These are sized in letter size. Please take your usual US size for the intended fit. Yeah, that's what we got. Next up is a new addition, but in a similar shape. It's kind of a combination of shapes that we've seen before. This is their Airtex popover overshirt. The big standout here is the cloth. It's a reproduction of a 1940s English military cloth, which is what they dubbed as Airtex, which is more or less like a cotton mesh. But then done in such a fine weave that it really does just almost feel like a cotton broadcloth. But on body, it has a lot more breathability to it, a lot more wearable. It's something that's going to be cooler drying than a broadcloth, just because it has those pores in it that make the water diffuse a lot easier. But yeah, it's really sweet. If you look at the details going on, a lot of it is pretty similar to the pearl snap. You can see the pearl snap of the same color. You have those same pockets. You have not exactly the same enamel covering, but you have a cat eye button here while you have the enamel there. They have the same series of pleats on the back, so you're getting a good shape. And then you also have the polo hem with the lower back and higher front. I'm wearing the apricot color. Let me unzip this, maybe give you a little bit more of a look. I'm also taking the XL because it's kind of a roomier fit that I wanted. But you're welcome to take your same size. I think I could be between a large and an extra large. The large fit me fine. It just fit me closer to a regular shirt, whereas I wanted this to kind of be more roomy and voluminous. So size accordingly to how you'd like, but it's a pretty easy and forgiving shape to get into. It's something that I think pairs incredibly well with a tank top because you can zip it all the way down and you get like a little tank top ribbing showing. Ken-chan was already wearing the tank top, so I didn't want to, copy his swag. But, I mean, in theory, right? Look at this. Like, that would be pretty crazy. That would be pretty cool. You go super tonal. You could do this, bam, with like a white pant, and you're killing. That's. If you buy that, cite me. Please credit me, because that's going to be really good. But yeah, we really enjoy these. So we don't have a third color of this, but we do have another third outer, and it's a pretty special one. This is their Bedford cord jacket, their ranch jacket. This is something we've seen from them in the past. So you're like, whoa, what's so special about this? Well, it's still very special. It's a Japanese milled Bedford cord, like a reproduction of, I believe, sometime mid-century, what they had with the Western kind of era vibes. The details they have going on are sweet. As you saw, we were focusing on that cuff. It has like this really sweet kind of like curved, peaked situation. The hardware is really beautiful. It's like these custom-made branded Wythe, or I guess kind of Longhorn with the oxidized like copper color. Yeah, and then you got this Wythe stitching on the back that it's only for their made in USA items. You'll see it listed there, made in the US, because this guy is, milled in Japan, made in the US. It's really what we want these days, really beautiful stuff. And I think something to note is that the pockets on this one, an update from the previous versions of the Bedford cord, have a little bit of a dropped pocket. So it's kind of a bit more intentional of a design. It feels a little less true to the classic, but a little bit more, tweaked. And not to mention tweaks, we've also got, bam, stunner of an embroidery on the back. We've got the Hill Country roundup with a nice bucking bronco with a cowboy holding on for his dear life. Fully chain stitched, really nice dense chain stitch too. This is not something you're fearing that if you rub against something it's gonna come loose or it's gonna get off. Like, I don't know, it's really good. It feels nice. I feel like a lot of times people talk about quality and it's a very nebulous, vague term, but when you feel this and you touch this, you're like, yeah, that's quality, that's great stuff. And the colors are just incredibly easy to wear. I really love black and brown together, especially with the full range of browns to creams. It just makes sense. You're going to wear this with your whites, your browns, your khakis, your tans, or just wear it in a full black outfit, and it's going to work really well. We've got it styled back here, and you can see we got the blacks and browns. Even from the front, when you can't see the situation going on in the back, it still makes sense. But then when you turn around and you give them a little, people are going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so good. This is the best jacket. This jacket, something to mention about the sizing, it is going to be that kind of vintage, very snug fit. So if you're taking your true size, it's going to form to the body pretty closely. It is something that kind of molds and stretches a little bit as you wear it. So if you want that like true classic repro feel, go for that. But I think most guys nowadays would probably want to size up and kind of have a little bit more room in each limb that you have going on. But it's up to the wearer's intention. Size usual, size up, whatever you like. It has a nice crop body to it regardless of the size, so it's pretty sweet. But yeah, that's what we got with Wythe. Please let me know your thoughts, your questions, concerns. Give us a like if you like, subscribe. That's it, guys. See y'all.